Hello everyone, Sarah here with Autoimmune Tribe. Just got home from a little photo shoot with Lifetime Fitness, and I just wanted to chat about something with all of you briefly. So I was on a call with a client this week, and she asked a really good question, which is, Sarah, how do I know when my fear is talking versus when my intuition is talking? And it's an important distinction to make because oftentimes we make decisions based on fear or intuition, and we want to make more decisions based on intuition than from a fear state. So the first thing I want all of you to do when you consider if you are in fear or intuition is where they show up in your body. So for example, you could write down or think of some of the things that make you afraid, that are fearful for you. And then when you look at those things, where do they show up in your body? Does it show up in your gut? Does it show up in your mind? Does it show up in your hands trembling, legs shaking, heart beating? Where does the fear manifest in your body? And then I want you guys to think about when you have this clear knowing, when you experience your intuition, where does that show up in your body? Part of what makes us confused between fear and intuition is that they both oftentimes do show up in the gut. And we have that gut feeling, and then we ask ourselves, well, am I afraid, or is this my intuition telling me to be afraid? So when you think of your intuition, where does that show up in your body? Where has it showed up in the past? Maybe it's in a ringing in your ears or in your belly, or maybe it's a warmth in your chest. So part of it is this body scan to see where these are coming up so that when you are in the heat of the moment, you have that self-intelligence of your body to determine whether it's fear or intuition. Secondly, intuition is not, it is about the present. It's not about the past or future. So your intuition speaks to you in this present moment. Whereas fear is the voice inside of your head that thinks of all of the things that could go wrong. Fear is us thinking of the ways we could get into an accident. It's delusional, might be a harsh word, but it's anxious. It's a lot of anxiety and these fears starting to rustle up. And then lastly, fear versus intuition. Fear is emotionally charged. There are a lot of strong emotions behind fear, especially fear if fear is kind of this chronic state for you. Whereas intuition is not as emotionally charged. It's really more a feeling of assuredness or clarity. It's less emotional and more neutral. So those are three different ways to distinguish fear from intuition. And then as we start to find clarity in those, we can have the awareness in the heat of the moment to ask ourselves and take inventory of whether we are super emotionally charged, thinking of all the different ways that things could go wrong in the future, that's fear, or if we get this little rustle in our heart or our belly that just tells us something that we need to know, with less emotion behind it and more clarity, and that would be your intuition. Okay? If you guys have any questions about that, I would love to answer them, and I hope this is helpful for more than just a client that asked me this the other day. I was able to answer her over our call, but I thought this was something that would probably apply to many of us. So I hope you guys have found this helpful, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.